Yes.
Welcome, one and all. It's been a couple of weeks, but we are back eventually. A slight recap, both for myself and for you guys. You are still in the city of Denderport. Last session, you went to visit the priestess Helga. The Orc Priestess Helga at the Temple of Kagrabi in Denderport to see if she could either fix Neo or help you with directing you where to go. She tried some restoration on him, which did not work, but tells you that there is a more powerful higher Orc Priestess in the Orc capital, as it were. Called Zinda Farsight. Because she was unable to help, she was willing to arrange passage for you on a ship, either now or at a later date. She also knew of 2 other people who would have similar powers to Zinda Farsight. One was an elf legend called Thistleblade, who, as both of you being half-elves, would have heard of before, and the other one was a dwarf called Artgal Shining Palm. You decided not to travel anywhere for the time being, but to see if you could find some work for yourselves and find some money before you set off to seek out one of these, because you were told that whoever you sought out, there would likely be a high material cost that you would have to cover for such a restoration spell. You got in touch with the local, I can't remember what I called them, but the local lawmaker, sheriffy type person, a person short even for dwarf stature, called Warden. That's what so they were the Warden in Denderport, called Gemma, and were able to help her out with a problem involving some people going missing, and it turned out there were several spiders making a large nest down in the sewers, which you dispatched and were paid for before heading off to a night of however you wish, and that's where we kind of pick it up. We can pick it up the next morning if there's nothing you guys really want to do, or we can pick it up in the sort of early evening as you guys are exiting the what was it? The courthouse, having just finished speaking to Warden Gemma.
I don't think there's anything I want to do. I'm just looking through my character sheet now, trying to think if there's any upgrades I would like before we set off on some other thing. I don't think there is. I think I'm pretty good. I've got a new crossbow. I'm very happy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You also kind of established with Gemma that that you were looking for work, and she said she would keep an eye out for you and have an ask around to see if she can drum up anything else for you.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah. There is it's a port city, so there are many taverns and inns and things like that.
One by the water.
One by the water?
Yeah. I want to see view. I've spent a lot of time in a forest. Ocean's pretty cool. Lots of fishies. No squirrels, most importantly. I'm joking.
Okay, well, again, it's a very large waterfront for the city, so you can have your pick of places depending on. You're in sort of middle district at the moment with the courthouse and things in it. It's not too shabby, but not too upmarket either. So you can have your pick of the places depending on where you'd like to go. If you want to go very expensive, you can.
Let's spend all the money.
You can go more middle of the road, or you can go cheap and cheerful.
I'm thinking like middle of the road, because as much as cheap and cheerful would be good from a sensible standpoint, I like beds.
And
I like them not to have.
Not going to get you a CV.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'd say there are many.
Middle of the road, slap bang average.
Okay. Where you can find
Like the beefeater of this place.
the beef eater.
Yeah. Slap. Yeah. Slap bang average.
No, I'm not sure I'm aware of what a beef eater is.
Basically, JJ, it was a really, really good joke.
Okay.
No, Beefeater is a restaurant that is a bit like a really fancy Weatherspoons or a really bad posh pub.
Right.
Yeah. Think of it like a really, really posh pub, but it's only the restaurant part of the pub. Anyway, let's keep going.
Okay.
It is very averagely priced, and their menu is very average.
Okay. Well, you are able to find such a likely looking establishment on the waterfront. Come wander in and ask for beds and meals for the evening, depending on if you want beds, meals.
Yes. I mean,
You probably need a meal. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I'll take a meal as
you
well.
can pay for you can pay for as many meals as you want, but it'll be you can say if you plan on staying a long time, you can pay for several nights and things in advance, and sort of breakfast and dinner and things like that, or you can.
I don't know
Go
how
for. Well, it depends because she said she was going to get us work, but we don't actually know if we have work yet. So I'm thinking do the one night now, check in with her tomorrow to see if there's any work available. Otherwise, just keep on going. Get to because how far away is this? We said we were going to go to this thistle person
Yeah.
or the orc one. I don't know which.
No, we're going to
Thistleblade. Oh, Zinda
is based in Hengist Forza. I haven't put you on the map. I've put myself on the map. That's really helpful.
Okay,
Yeah,
so if
it's
we're
based in
like
Hengist
here,
Forza. Helga said she would arrange a ship for you when you wanted to go. That would take you there. So there would be passage on a ship when you wanted it. Thistleblade, you knew from legend, was in the northwest side of the old Massarin forest. And then it was speculated that Artkahal would be in Garnheim in the dwarf capital.
Yeah, I think we said we'd go up here. Oh no, wait, hold on. Up here. And then if she couldn't help, we'd see if the person, the elf
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So you're just going to get one night and dinner, or dinner and breakfast?
Oh, breakfast is great.
Okay. That'll run you about 7 silver. For
7 silver for a beef eater.
for
Breakfast. That's great.
well, for a room and 2 meals.
All you can eat bacon.
It is indeed all you can eat bacon until the bacon runs out, and then it's all you can eat fish
Oh,
because they are by the coast.
I don't want fish for breakfast.
It's all you can eat fish or very expensive bacon fed on fish. Everything around here is fed on fish.
Or just that really, really cheap granola. You know? I think that every like bloody like breakfast place has just this like really crappy £1 granola. Ugh. Anyway,
Time for bed.
slip, 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 slip. Sleep. Ah.
Yes. So you can all have a lovely rest and get all the benefits of that long rest. Yeah. So you wake up the next day, you have your all-you-can-eat breakfast, and waylaid with heavy stomachs filled with fish and or bacon, as well as eggs and some sort of weird seaweed side sauce that Neo tucked into quite gratefully, but Arwen seems to have turned her nose up at. Yeah, you can set out and head back to. You guys are sort of learning your way around quite comfortably now, and can quickly head back to the courthouse. Let's stick you back on this lovely seafront. And it is as you are walking through the centre of town, one of these sort of main. You come to one of the main thoroughfares, one of the main streets, and there seems to be a little bit of sort of crowd gathering, and people sort of looking at a few people looking around, and you can hear sort of shouts and things coming down the street. And shouldering your way through to the front of the crowd, just in time, you see this very opulent carriage. Where did I put my description? Yeah, you see this very opulent carriage coming down. It's rather than being like an enclosed, it might once have been a full carriage, but you can see it's had the roof taken off and just exists of sort of half-height walls all the way around. And standing in the back is this tall, incredibly tall, elven-looking woman riding in this open-top carriage. Each corner of the carriage there's a tall, sort of ornately carved wooden post holding up this large decorative silk canopy above her. And walking along the street behind, the carriage is pulled by 2 large, beautifully groomed white horses with like plaited manes and ribbons tied in them and that sort of thing, gleaming hooves, and you can hear the sort of the gentle clop of horseshoes on the cobbled streets. And this woman, you notice, seems to be incredibly tall. There seems to be a servant of some sort standing in the back but you can see this elven woman towers over the top of them. She must be at least 7 feet tall. With a sort of, has a slim but muscular stature that doesn't make her look. She's well proportioned, so would probably have quite broad shoulders and things like that. But because of her height, it all accentuates out, and she seems quite well balanced as a figure. Is wearing sort of a top hat, and sort of seems to be wearing a coat with tails, and has a large cane in one hand that she's using to sort of gesture and gesticulate to the crowd quite wildly. Walking along behind there seems to be several minstrels and things, a few people playing lutes, there seem to be drummers. There are also numerous jugglers and tumblers and things like that. Someone is cartwheeling their way down the street. There's people juggling sort of knives and balls and various other things. You see one of these jugglers sort of walks along and in mid juggle scoops this guy's empty ale mug out of his hand and mixes that in with his ball and then quickly returns it. But then he returns the ball and then he carries on juggling with the ale mug and then swaps the ball out and back in. And then sort of,
are there any of those fire dancers?
Yeah. So there's people there's a couple of sword swallowers who sort of run along and theatrically pull out a sword and show off, and then they'll pull it out again and do their things. There's a couple of people walking along and they'll occasionally blow put a thing in their mouth and spit a huge gulp of fire, and they're not strong either.
Before one of them does that, can I put out the fire with druidcraft? like behind someone, but just like I'm in the crowd and behind someone, I'll just do it just for a laugh.
So this entertainer, they're sort of periodically walking along, and so then they pull out this thing and they light this very small torch, as it were, and just as they raise it to their lips, as you've seen them do, sort of 15 or 20 feet further down the street, and get ready to exhale. There's just this sort of small sort of and nothing really happens, and and they end up sort of spitting this fluid out of their mouth, and it doesn't ignite. And they sort of look around and they quickly get another thing out of their pocket and rapidly start lighting it, and then they hurry on down the street and just try again with.
Just after he leaves, Stick is on the floor. He's thought this is the funniest shit anyone's ever done in his entire life.
But everyone is wearing elaborate outfits and things, and all these performers, these minstrels with their lutes and their drummers and things like that, they all have beautifully ornate masquerade masks. And the tall elven woman is calling out, inviting people to come and see Lady Dravula's carnival, which is being set up outside the city. And you see she has this very long coat on of a ringmaster and a top hat, things like that. And as you're watching it, you just watch as this procession sort of goes through, and you see all the various. There's a few people there's a couple stilt walkers and stuff like that. A few sort of acrobats. There seems to be a big strong man and some sort of younger children run up to him, and he'll give one of them a launch, and they'll fly 15 feet into the air, and then they'll catch them, and then someone else. So it seems to be a sort of travelling performance to get people to come and see the carnival.
The people who tried to kill me in Neo.
I mean, that doesn't narrow it down in the slightest.
In the river.
Mm.
But they were minstrels.
Yes, they were dressed as performers and minstrels.
Was it the same costumes?
Roll a perception check. 2. There were similarities, but they weren't exactly the same. They were definitely dressed as minstrels, but there is a large variety. That's this procession isn't so much wearing uniforms or anything like that, so you can't identify a specific set within them.
But I'm suspicious.
Arwen is suspicious if Arwen wants to be suspicious. Arwen's just looking for a reason to stab someone
Of course.
and steal their shoes.
Of course. I need shoes for my shoe collection.
Shoes for your shoe collection.
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
if
more
that's everything you want
animals.
to do, Styx has finished messing with the poor innocent performers who did nothing to no one.
I even liked what Styx did.
Okay. I imagine it was sort of, hey Arwen, watch this. Like Styx like kind of makes a real show of casting his druidcraft, but also like it's a mix of like, see, I'm clearly casting a thing to make a thing happen, but also no one see that I'm doing a thing. It's like behind his shield.
Exactly.
Just like he's got like his shield out maybe, and he's just like doing the hand motions behind his shield so that only Arwen beside him can see.
Exactly.
Just to make this poor, innocent, absolutely innocent, never did nothing to no one.
Fan goddamn tastic.
And with that, this procession goes through, and you're able to, people start crossing the roads and going about their business and things like that again. Sellers start hawking their wares again. People start, going to shops and work and what have you, and business returns to normal as this procession heads further through the city. Where would you like to head?
To Gemma.
Okay, heading to the courthouse?
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Okay, so you get to the courthouse. There is a different guard on duty to the one you spoke to yesterday. He's a bit younger, seems a little bit more attentive to what he's doing, and welcomes you in and invites you to have a seat in the little waiting area when you explain what you're there for, and he hurries off into the back, and a few minutes later returns with Gemma, and she's like, hello there, why don't we speak in my office? And so she invites you back, and again you walk through some familiar corridors. She lets you in, and as before, there's this very large ornate desk with this big axe hung up behind the desk, and she disappears around and then sort of appears up some stairs and settles herself in a big chair so she can be of a level with you when you're sat down. And I've had a bit of a look, and there's not a huge amount going on. There's plenty of regular work, but I'm guessing you're after something a little bit more adventurous than the regular 9 to 5. If you were looking for more mundane work, there's plenty of caravans looking to hire guards, plenty of ships looking for guards to fend off pirates. Have a few old bounties, but to be honest, I'm not confident that there are any leads worth having on those. It's more a case of hope the classic criminal returns to the scene of the crime and what have you, or hope they get picked up somewhere else and someone will let us know.
What are the bounty people?
Hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
The bounties. Well, I've got a businessman who has skipped out on his taxes and fled the city. Someone will catch up with him eventually, I'm sure. We've got two thieves who were due to be sentenced, but gave their guard a slip and ran off while they were being transported from. Well, they should have been escorted more thoroughly, but hey. And there is a group of travelling, a band of travelling thieves who have been giving us some travellers some problems on the road, up and down the river.
Mhm.
But well, we haven't had any reports about them for some time, so I suspect they've moved on. The most likely prospect, I believe, for you fine people is there is a local college my niece attends. It is where it is an academy for training those in the martial ways, and so on and so forth. Dunwall Academy. It technically sits outside the city and does not directly fall under the jurisdiction, as the master is so keen to remind me. They have had a couple of students go missing. The training there is tough, and this is not for everyone, and so some students do decide just to pack it in. However, I've spoken to my niece, and she was quite concerned about a couple of people. One of her close friends, she assured me, would not have wandered off or packed it in. Was doing quite well. Is one of those who has disappeared. And while the master is not keen to look into the matter, claiming that these couple are just those who have decided that it is too tough for them, it maybe warrants a further look. If you're interested in, and halfway through this sentence, there is a sudden clap of thunder, and a figure appears in the corner of the room. Quite a tall figure, but sort of hunched over with a long white beard. Very classically, a wizard. With big brimmed hat, pointy hat, and long robes and things like that. Quite a panicked look on his face. Gemma, there's it's like, just take a moment and breathe, Archibald, breathe. And she sort of casts you a look. He's like, this guy, and while he's sort of Archibald here is travelling wizard is probably the best, most accurate description. Checks in from time to time to if we have any problems, or just generally makes himself helpful. A few minor enchantments here or there to make his living off and that sort of thing. I did say he could, he was welcome to drop in at any time. He has been helpful a time or two. I was expecting him to use the door, though. Yes, I'm terribly sorry. It was quite an effort to teleport in, but Well, something terrible has happened. There is a vineyard. I frequent magnificent wines, run by a group of monks and nuns, both as a vineyard and an orphanage.
That's a bad combination.
No, it works magnificently. The children learn a farming trade that they can use and business skills.
Bet they love it then.
And they have discipline and education, much better than growing up on the streets. But, well, as I say, they make magnificent wines, and I've always been welcome there. A few of my enchantments here or there to help clear a drought or grow some additional vines is always welcome, and I always walk away with a lovely bottle of their red. But as I was passing through, well, there was just chaos, fields strewn, no one in sight, many statues, which was odd as they didn't generally care for much heraldry or masonry work, they were people of nature rather than stonecraft. But buildings torn down, fields in tatters, equipment and things all over the place. Something horrible must have happened there. I didn't know who else to turn to. I know it's a ways away, Gemma, but I was hoping that a few of your guards would be sufficient to take a look. And figure out what we've done and where everybody went.
We are on it.
Oh, can we do some Sherlock Holmesing?
Fuck yeah, we can do some Sherlock Holmesing. Wait, who's Sherlock Holmes? Whatever. Not a problem now.
What?
Let us do some Sherlock Holmesing.
Gemma, do these people work for you?
We do now.
Well, they are. They are more freelance than employed by me, but they are looking for work. It seems that Archibald here has a job if you are looking for such a thing.
Sure. Sounds fun.
I'm not really sure what I can offer you. I know this vineyard, and it is a fair travel from here. It's not really within my bounds of jurisdiction. So I can't really promise you much in the form of payment from the city here, but I will certainly turn a blind eye if you make a profit out there.
Oh, nice. Cool. Can you
Yeah,
make the wizard
sounds good.
I'm not really a wealthy man, but I can offer you one old wizard's favour if that will suffice.
One each, or
Sure,
as a group?
why not?
Oh God,
3 favours.
5.
Yeah.
I've got 2 animals.
Okay.
I won't. Not it. He's sleeping.
Right, that's only 1.
Okay. Do you not trust me?
Sure. Okay, well, you best come with me. It'll be far quicker, although I will need to lie down afterwards.
I could carry you on my shield if you so wish.
No, that would be very slow. I am going
Nah.
to
That okay, yeah, that also probably works.
Hold on.
To what?
And he just he pulls out a chalk from his pocket and sort of goes to lean over and he's like, not on the carpet, do it outside. And not out front either, I don't want you showing off again. It's like, do it in the courtyard at the back. And so it's like, leads you out and like lets you out into this sort of little covered courtyard. This all covered on four sides, and then there's like a bit like open to the sun with like some benches and things in the sun. So when the sun shines down, it's quite neat. There's a little bit of sun. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice. You can do it here. And it's like, runs over and there's a sort of as he leans down and slowly just like and like starts drawing a circle on the floor. And,
do you think we should have offered to help?
Maybe.
You know the spell teleportation circle?
No.
I thought not. While your help is appreciated, this must be done. And slowly drawing out another circle inside, and linking the two circles with various arcane runes. And eventually he's like, "It is ready. Come stand with me." Oh, I haven't done this big enough. Everyone close. Cuddle in, cuddle in.
With the old man.
Oh Lord.
Someone get between us.
You have to like cuddle in close, and he's like, "Okay." And then they like cast a spell, and you see all the chalk on the ground glows and sort of with this sort of burning purple light. And then you feel yourselves, it's that feeling where you go over a bridge and you leave your stomach behind. It's that, except you just pop into the ground.
Oh Lord.
And there's this sort of squeezing, like rushing sensation as you travel a long distance very quickly, feeling like you've left your stomachs behind. And you pop out of the ground on a lovely hillside, surrounded by various. You find yourselves in the middle of this vineyard. So there are these rows and rows of grapevines up and down, running sort of lengthwise across the field. And in the distance, you can see slightly down in the valley that there are various farmhouses and that sort of thing. There's a building that looks like a church. There's a couple of large sort of barn-like looking buildings and things like that. And a smaller sort of cottagey house building and that sort of thing. That you can make your way over to if you would prefer.
Yeah.
There's various fields around, there's a few buildings, so you can decide sort of where you want to begin. As you look around, it is quite clear to see that maybe not the field you're in, but at least one of the other ones is sort of slightly up round the hill a ways, has had significant damage. There seems to have been a large series of these rows of vines, something very heavy has come through and just trampled or destroyed these nice neat rows have just been like bulldozed through the middle.
Should we start outside?
Yeah, I think start outside. Yeah, because if you sort of think if something's running away, we can probably pick up tracks a lot easier than sort of maybe starting into. Yeah, let's just start outside.
Nice. Can I
Let's have a look around.
Your field.
And I will assist, I think.
Okay. Yeah. If Sticks is assisting, you can have advantage. Just see if you roll.
Oh. I am so good.
Sticks is basically showing you everything not to look at. It's like, no.
You see this?
No.
Arwen, many people don't know this, but this is grass.
Oh, wow. I think he hit his head when we got here.
What?
Well, I need a rest. Oh, so much magic, so tired. I will be somewhere having a lie down.
Just lie on the floor.
And he sort of
Just right there.
heads
Yeah,
over
I think
to
just
one of the walls to the field and just sort of props himself like up against it in the shade and like pulls his hat down and just immediately you hear snoring.
well,
Classic.
he's out. Grandfather behaviour.
Okay, so investigating. It takes you some time because you've got you realise that the field you're in seems relatively intact at the moment. So maybe with like a 19, maybe it's like it's been a little bit like overgrown. You'd have thought they would like the rows are getting a little bit sort of haywire as if they've been left untamed, and the vines have sort of grown a bit more wild than they would have done. So you can sort of think maybe it's been a few weeks or something like that since whatever potentially happened. And it takes you a while to comb over the surrounding fields, maybe sort of an hour and a half to really sort of go through and sort of look at all the ones that you can see on these sort of surrounding hills that appear to have this damage where this large thing has gone through, and you're able to track several clear pathways in and out sort of and looping around. It seems like it hasn't really like stopped to consume or anything like that from the vines. It's just this thing, whatever it is just been going through with a purpose, and the fragile vines, the walls to the fields, nothing seems to have impeded it. It's just blundered and blasted its way through.
Jesus.
But yeah, you're able to track initially where you think it came in, but there seems to be a lot of roaming around and things like that. Like it would head into the field and then it maybe like go off somewhere and then it seems to have like come back at some point as well.
Okay.
Closer to the centre, to the like little village where all the buildings are, the more destruction you can see and the more like footprints and tracks and things like that, they get more numerous, and as you get closer to the centre of where all these buildings are, you are able to see a certain amount of destruction within some of these buildings as well. And also what you find are, in the fields themselves, are a handful of statues, what it looks like. And they seem very realistic statues, very well made and detailed. But it does strike you as odd that anyone would put statues in a field like this.
Do I know what they are?
What the statues are?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can investigate the statues themselves.
Yeah. That.
I'm pretty sure I know what.
So there's some random statues in the middle of the field. I have a funny feeling. Ben has a funny feeling. Sticks. Would I maybe know of... Okay, so obviously thinking statues random in the middle of a field. Would I maybe know anything that could do such a thing? Like any spell, any creature, anything like that? Or even a creature that might inhabit these parts which could lift something like that. But I'm assuming like what I doubt a creature would come, lift a bunch of statues, drop them down perfectly, and then leave them there.
Yeah, so you can you can make an investigation check if you want to investigate the statues themselves, or you can make like an Arcana check to see what you know about the nature of magic that would potentially have produced something like this, or be the source of something like this. Or you can make a nature check to see what you can recall about animals or monsters or something like that you might know
I think
from this area. You can make.
I think I'll make a nature check.
You can make whatever check you want. Just tell me what it's sort of relevant to.
I think I'll make a nature check. Although I've just realised I'm meant to be this like dude to protect the forest, and I have 0 in nature.
Yeah.
So I was
intelligence skill. So.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I have zero intelligence and 0 wisdom, so I guess I just wasn't listening when I was taught any of this stuff. I'm just gonna make a nature check anyway to see.
-1 nature.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just sort of trying to think of any creatures that could maybe do such a. Any creatures that might have anything to do with statues and stuff. Obviously, we're somewhat out. We're out of the city. We're in somewhat a strange place with a lot of fields and stuff around.
Yeah.
And it clearly wasn't it maybe wasn't a. I'm not thinking there was a person here.
Yeah. So one slight problem is you don't know where you are at the moment in the world. So you're not able
This is a good point.
Drill down on this thing is native to here, but you are, and that's maybe helping you as well because you're not narrowing your field of search. You're trying to encompass all of your knowledge, and you do remember that somewhere along the way you were warned about beasts and things like that whose gaze is very, very dangerous, and looking them in the eye has the potential to turn people to stone.
Fuck.
And so from that, you're able to deduce, and maybe you get a slightly closer look at these statues, and you can see some of the fear in their eyes, how some of them look like they're running, some of them, and you notice how all the adults seem to be in sort of robes or habits like monks or nuns. All the men have this shaved bald patch on their head like the classic monk style.
These are the statues.
These are the statues. There are a large number of children in the statues and things that you see. Maybe some of them are sort of being shielded or protected, or people are sort of trying to run and that sort of thing. There's probably sort of, over your search of all the fields, you probably find maybe 10 or 15 statues.
Do I maybe know of any way that one could potentially get them back from being statues?
That will be Arcana, and that will be me checking in the book.
Oh, 14.
14 isn't terrible. You are a magic user, so it's a little bit better than like a fighter making a 14. Yeah, so you've also recently discussed things like this, like trying to cure curses and things like that with Helga, and so the spell Greater Restoration, the one she tried to use on Neo. The one she did use on Neo, but wasn't powerful enough to potentially cure his curse, is a very likely thing to be able to do that. That skill is, or the ability to cast that spell is not only expensive, it's also quite a rare skill. So potentially fixing this is a difficult problem.
Okay, if this creature is still out there, there are probably more people that can get hurt. And we should probably save these people. Because I think we need to ask that guy if he'll come and cast Greater Restoration on these people. But then you said there was over 10 people. That's a lot of... And Greater Restoration is a very high level spell, so it would literally be getting him here, asking him to cast the spell, going to bed, coming back the next day, asking him to cast the spell. Be a lot of that.
Not to mention the material component of that spell.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking, there's a church, there's monks and stuff. There's normally money around churches.
That is bad.
Well,
no.
It's to save them.
Yeah, I mean, the voice of Neo here would say, well, they do run a business. I'm sure they'd rather be spend their profits to not be statues, so potentially. When you put it like that, it doesn't seem so bad.
If we don't take the money, someone else will.
That is a good point. And at least we'd be using it for a good cause. All right, let's go steal from a church.
Nice.
No, let's go to the church and take their not steal, take their stuff so that we might save them.
Yes.
And others.
Yes.
Yes.
To the church for the stealing.
For the stealing.
Yeah.
Specifically for the stealing?
No, for the saving. Saving.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you head down, and there is this collection of buildings. One does indeed look like a church. It's made entirely from stone with this pitched slate roof and this sort of 3-story tall tower on it, which is open at the top, and you can see there's this large bell there, which would potentially be useful for signalling across the fields and things like that. When you've got workers and calling them back in for meals and that sort of thing. It is a church. You can head inside if you want and have a look around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a small church, probably sort of, no more than sort of 40 or 50 feet long, with a sort of plain wooden altar at the end. There is a single stained glass window. It's the only stained glass window is behind the altar, and there is sort of a simple. Quite an ornate looking, but plain, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's there's this gilded cup that sits on the altar that maybe is used next to a book of scripture, but it's sort of gilded and gold in colour, but is not ostentatiously covered in jewels and things like that. And then there are several benches and things that form pews and things like that. Quite a few benches seem to be crammed in there, even though the room is quite small. It seems like they tried and crammed quite a lot of people in there at a time.
Is there any like doors?
Yeah, there are 3 doors. There's a set of double doors at the opposite end of the altar, and then there are 2 single doors on the side that lead back out to the outside. It's just a singular stone room held up by some columns.
Oh.
And in the in the back there is like a scaffold that you can see, like there's a ladder that goes up, and then another ladder off the scaffold that goes up to the tower.
Can I go up to the altar and see if it moves?
The altar?
Yeah.
It's a very plain altar. It's just like a wooden table with like a cloth over it, so it's nothing super elaborate.
Doesn't look very fancy.
Quite a basic church, it seems like.
So there's no already.
Not in
Thank you, in houses. We'll come back for these ornaments if we can't find money. We can probably sell them to someone.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very nervous. I feel like there should be something in here, but there isn't. I mean, what the fuck?
Which building would you like to investigate next? There are 2 very large barn-like buildings, and there is also a couple of more cottagey like buildings as well. One of the barns has a massive hole in the side where a large section of wall has been smashed in and has collapsed, and you can see on the other side there is a similar hole, like this thing just went through it, or went in and decided it couldn't be bothered to go out the same way. And one of the cottages also has like a corner like taken off it, where something has ploughed through it.
I'm sure you did mention this, JJ, but I just do not remember. Did you say what this was a church, or who this was a church of?
I did not know.
Who might this be a church of?
Well, make a religion check for me.
Religion.
Yes.
9.
Nice.
I was 0 in a lot of things.
So, going back into the, going into the church, there is this one stained glass window at the back that you study quite intensely, trying to place where you think you've seen this figure before. And you realise it's this tall woman with a this sort of classic stained glass halo behind her, and in her arms she's holding this very large ornate horn, and from it almost seems to be flowing almost like a waterfall of like bread and fruit and meats and things like that. It seems to be this horn of plenty. And you think, being a follower of Zuriel herself, that this is also a temple to Zuriel, the goddess of the seasons.
I think that, but I don't know it.
Yeah. You think, oh yeah, that could be, but there's doubt in your mind, maybe because it's been a while since you actually physically visited another temple. Your worship tends to be more on the nature side than the organised religion side.
That's fair.
Which
Okay.
is fine, Zuriel is open to all forms of worship.
Okay. Cool. thanking you for that one.
That's okay.
Do you worship any weird beasts? In your
Me? No.
Okay.
No. Not weird beasts.
So they didn't summon something.
I don't.
Religion.
I don't think so. I can't imagine. You know, like people of the harvest, that sort of thing. You know, people of the seasons. I can't imagine a creature that would turn stuff to stone would have anything to do with that. I think it was merely a sort of wrong place, wrong time scenario here. You know, I think it might have been that they were traveling along and, yeah, just sort of happened to get in this thing's path, or this thing had been hunting them. Maybe.
Possibly.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, it is a tough one. Okay, so we've got... Are there any tracks in and around any of the areas as to where a creature like this might have gone?
This area is the most heavily tracked area in and around these buildings. And most of the tracks are located on the one building with these great holes in the side of it.
Should we go for that?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go in there then, yeah. We're going to have to.
Yeah. Okay. So we head over to this building. It is a very large barn-type building with a sort of triple-storied, but the lower section is stone, and it's this stone section that's been ploughed through, and a little bit from above you can see a sort of fallen in to sort of fill the hole a little bit where it's partially collapsed. And making your way inside, you can see this very. I'm just going to stick you on a nice sort of fieldy map just for a change, so you can get a sense of what's in my head. But you end up in this barn, and you can see quite quickly there are a large number of barrels. There is what looks like a very big press. There's a big stack of empty bottles and what looks like a bottling line. There are some big tanks, like hugely tall sort of copper tanks, and things like that. And you surmise this is the winery itself. This is where they squeeze and bottle and press everything. And it has the ground floor is dominated by all this equipment and machinery, but you can see up on there's this sort of mezzanine level up above where it looks like, which has these huge like barn doors. One of them is sort of hanging half open, letting in a little bit of light for you to see by, and it sort of leads over to this big chute where everything was sort of initially head down, like where they dump all the grapes and things down into this press. And there's just destruction all around. Large number of barrels have been smashed. The floor is quite squelchy still, and these big footprints that you've been tracking are sort of even deeper. There is a very strong smell of wine about. And you smell in the air, and there's just lots of. One of these huge big fermentation tanks has been knocked over and is lying on its side. It's got these sort of big claw marks in it, and it's sort of there's a small pool at the bottom, but it seems empty now.
somewhere
They're deeper into the ground.
deeper.
Hmm.
Can I investigate them again?
Yeah.
See if I know what it is.
You're trying to identify
Oh.
the creature. That's going to be more of a nature check than a 16. I don't know if the creatures would have come up for you.
Could I identify?
When you left the forest,
Yes.
how far did you travel?
I was still in forest areas.
Okay, so probably not too far away from keeping to mostly to the edges of the forest. Okay, so I don't think you would have come across these before or know what they are. And neither would. I don't think you would have been told about them. But you are able to ascertain that it's something of its size. It seems like a very large creature, and it seems like it has quite a few legs, so more than 4 legs.
And claws, cause it.
Yeah, and big claws and things like that. But this building seems to be the winery itself, where they make the wine and things like that.
Is there any wine?
There seems to be some like remnants of the wine on the floor and things like that. It's quite, as though the floor is quite squishy underfoot, as if it was just earth, but a large quantity of wine had soaked into it. Hadn't yet dried out. There's a large number of kegs and things like that seem to have been shattered, like barrels and things. There is a stack of bottles on one side, but when you investigate more closely, they're all empty. Half of them haven't even got labels on, and there is also a stack of empty barrels and things like that. It doesn't actually seem like there is any wine here at all that's left.
I'm really gonna regret this, but I think we should just go in. I think there's only a certain amount of investigating on the outside we can really do.
Oh well, I'm assuming you're in this building at this point.
Okay. Okay.
To see everything that I've described, you would have to have been in the building.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I'm getting my sword out. Very, very ready. I'm very nervous that there's something still here. Oh, what do we do? What do we do?
Is there anything up in the next level? Can I get to the next level?
Yeah, you can get up to the next level.
I'm going to go up.
Yeah, so the next level just seems like it's dedicated to some like supports and things around these tall tanks, so you can access the top of them, but also for this higher area where it seems like they raise up all the grapes through these large barn doors on the second level, where they can all be tipped and run down into the big press and things like that. And they sort of slowly like feed down the press, or feed down under the press, and then you get pressed by this big stone press, and then with various offshoots and things like that for collecting the wine as it, well,
Yeah.
it's not quite yet wine, but the grape juice as it flows out and things like that. And there seems to be a couple of them, as if they make, for making, I think there's 3 of them, I said, for making different types of wine and stuff like that.
Does the chute go all the way down to the bottom floor?
Yes.
Can I slide down?
Yeah, you can slide down the chute if you want. It's not entirely comfortable, but yeah, and you end up sort of covered in a little bit of like dried like grape husks as you get to the bottom, but you can just sort of like dust yourself off and enjoy your slide.
Well, that looked like you were having a great time.
Oh.
Aha! Sorry, it had to be said. Had to be said. I don't want anyone whining. Oh, he did it again. Did it again. You all thought he was done, but you came back in for a second. Okay. So what do we got? We got a load of tracks in here.
Yeah.
Wine. Well, not wine. Nearly wine. Where haven't we investigated?
There is
So
another
investigated
barn, and there are 2 cottages. One of the cottages owner seems to have been taken out of.
Should we put our head in the second cottage because it's probably
Yeah.
right next to it.
Which
Yeah.
Are you going for the damaged one or the one that looks fine?
Oh, I meant barn.
The barn.
Sorry.
Yeah, so this other barn-like building seems to be intact. You can, as you sort of make your, it is quite close. All these buildings are in very close proximity. So as you make your way over to it, you can actually see sort of a large number of like wellies and things like that scattered around one of the doors and things. As you try the door, it's not locked. You can let yourself in into the ground floor of this building and start making your way through. You find a lot of simple things like it's and this building, as you walk through it, it becomes clear that this is a living space, and there seems to be a large kitchen fitted out to cook meals for a large number of people, and it's sort of adjacent to this large dining room that has a couple of these very long tables. The whole of the ground floor seems almost to be living space. So it's this kitchen, and there's like a set of like washrooms with a number of bathtubs in it, and then there's this dining room. And then heading up the stairs, you reach what would be the like sleeping spaces and the second floor is classrooms and things like that. So there's only 2 or 3 spread out across. They're quite big, again mainly with like benches and things. And there's like a traditional blackboard and a few books and things like that. And sort of benches with little desks and then heading up to the 3rd floor is where you find sleeping quarters and lots of dormitories with bunk beds, with little cupboards at the end of the bed and things like that. Little like hand-drawn things stuck up around the bed. Little, kids' clothes, kids' toys, those sorts of things. And you're able to ascertain there's a bit of a split. So one looks very young. There's even a couple of cots in there, things like that. For looking after babes in arms and toddlers and things like that. And then one gets a little older, and then there's a 3rd one and a 4th one, and they all sort of seem to jump up every couple of, every sort of 4-ish years, you estimate, based on some of the size of the clothes and the things that you find.
None of these are like adult.
No, this is all very much seems to be where the children sleep.
There will be no money here.
Alright, well, I guess this is where the children sleep.
Yeah.
Let's go find where everyone else sleeps.
Yes.
I guess there must be money in there. I'm just very, very aware that there is something around here that potentially turns people to stone, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
There are 2 cottages left. One partially destroyed, and one completely intact. Where would you like to go first? They're relatively big cottage. I say cottage just because compared to barn, but they're still like relatively big, 2 stories, and that sort of thing.
Okay. I think we should go to the partially destroyed cottage, or the slightly more partially destroyed cottage, because
one is
then
intact, one has this like corner like taken off.
Okay, yeah. I think we should go to that one. I think. Yeah, have a look at the sort of destructive or destroyed bits first.
Okay. Yeah, so these 2 cottages stand slightly apart from everything else, and when you get close, you can see that this destroyed section seems to be the entrance to some kind of cellar, and maybe you can recognize, like the classic, like pub cellar has like these like, double doors that like swing up, and so there's these sort of remnants of these 2 little sort of diagonal walls that would have held them on a slight angle as they lead into the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this is sort of the remnants of that. You can maybe see one of the doors has been like ripped off or something like that. Is lying nearby. And there are these steps, and it seems like the hole down has been made bigger. Something quite big has squeezed. It's quite it's a reasonably large set of steps. Anyway, you would be able to fit a couple of people walking there quite comfortably. And in fact, in the center of the steps leading down, it's 2 sets of steps, one on either side, and then there is a smooth track in the middle, as if something could slide down this again.
So,
but it's built, so the steps are built, so they have 2 sets of steps, and then there is this smooth like stone. So if you imagine if you had a set of steps that was very wide, say like 2 meters wide,
yeah,
and then the middle sort of third of that has, rather than being steps, has been made so it is this stone slide effectively.
Right. Okay. So what you can like push barrels down and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can push barrels down steps, and you don't have to carry them.
I get you. There still could be something down there though.
I'm going. Let's go.
Yeah, can I hold my sword in one hand and then like produce flame in another to sort of like have some sort of crackling flames. Yeah. Just to light it up. I know we're half elves and we do have like low light vision, but I just still think it's probably
no, there's nothing wrong with having
better safe than sorry.
Yeah. So as you head down, it seems that this cellar proportions are not betrayed by the proportions of the cottage above. As you sort of step down, you can see quite a long way sort of ahead of you, and you're in one corner, and so like ahead of you and to your right. These 2 walls disappear, and you see that they actually extend far beyond the proportions of the cottage. It just seems the cottage is a convenient place to locate this. And again, the smell of wine is very strong. And as you get down, you sort of feel glass crunching under your feet. And there's sort of the crack and splinter as you maybe have to step over some destroyed barrels. And as far as you can see, in this cellar, everything has been destroyed. Everything has been broken. I want you both to make perception checks for me.
Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Perception, I think I have like a 0 in perception.
It's wisdom.
Oh my god!
This monster was first.
Neo rolled a 2. With his perception, that's a 3.
Oh,
So,
Neo, you disappoint me, sir. But then, yeah, and I probably wasn't much better.
I mean, you also got a 3, so
I did.
you
Let's
just
not
happened
talk
to
about it.
roll a 3 rather than having a +1. Yeah. So this cellar has a large number of destroyed barrels and wine bottles and things like that in it. There are various columns and things running through it, supporting the ceiling. It's a stone ceiling and stone walls all the way around, and a stone floor underneath your feet as well.
Can we carry on further in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If there's nothing, obviously, technically, we haven't seen anything in here, so.
So yeah, as you walk in, you end up suddenly very close to, you realise, what is not a pile of rubble, but a large, bluish, scaly form just seems to appear as the light from Styx's glowing palm falls over it. And fortunately for you guys, it is at the moment snoring quite gently. It seems to be asleep, but there is this large blue-scaled lizard on the ground, its head resting on 2 legs, another currently sort of turned away from you, another 6 legs are sort of tucked up underneath it. There's this 8-legged lizard, has this long, very thick tail, and these sort of this reddish colouring along its back, where it's sort of slightly spined and spiky. And at the moment, is just sort of as these powerful lungs are so rising and falling, is it?
Oh, let's just fucking kill it.
I mean, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I can't think. I can't think of anything else to do with it.
Well, Styx, having seen this, you would now, having put a number of clues together, have the knowledge to know that this is, as probably what Ben feared, a basilisk.
Yeah. Don't like it. Run away. Run away.
Everyone
Run
for themselves.
all the places away. No, not every man for themselves. No, that's a terrible idea.
So you're running?
No. Can I maybe make another perception check just to see if there's any other ones in the room near us?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
Because if it's just this one, I have a feeling that it should just straight up die. Oh, actually, okay. I'm gonna make this perception check, right? And then 13.
Yeah, that's the only one currently in the cellar with you.
Can I make a nature check to ascertain, in D&D terms, what their alignment is? Like, because I want to know if it is innately bad, or whether perhaps they're misunderstood.
Yeah, you can make a check to determine if you can remember. No, Styx has no clue. Styx is just trying to not think of it as a big insect at the moment because it's got so many legs.
Yes,
But
And
also
it just for that.
also, he's trying not to look at it because he knows what happens if it looks at you.
And it is for that reason I'm going to pull out my sword very, very, very silently.
Would it be a good idea? I don't know what they look like. Do you have a picture?
I'll try and find it slightly differently. But yes.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
do I have a...
Could if we're on its back, can it look at us?
That sounds like a terrible plan. That sounds like a terrible idea. But also a brilliant one.
Well, if you think like a dog can like turn itself around and like itch its like middle with its mouth, can't it? So it could probably like, or like, if you imagine like a little like Komodo dragon or something like turning itself around to like look, I would say probably yes. It could like bend itself like around to like look at its. Like it couldn't obviously like bite you if you were like on its back maybe,
But it
but
can look at me.
it could probably
look
like
at me.
yeah, like flex in the middle.
It looks at me, but I don't look at it.
If you're not looking at it, you're fine.
Okay.
It's if you make eye contact.
Okay. I have an idea.
Go on.
It is risky,
I love it
but
already.
could work. Can I take out of my back 2 crossbow bolts? Or tell Arwen to get her 2 daggers, and can we stab it in its eyes while it's asleep?
Yeah.
Because I feel like as long as we sort of like, you know, if it can't actually see us, if its eyes are gone, maybe that would work.
We're gonna pull a Ballad of Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, totally not inspiration for this.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just.
Like, yeah, essentially, like, is it its eyes, or is it just it? Like, is it an innate looking action, or is it its eyes?
Starts to turn within 30 feet of the basilisk, and the 2 of them can see each other. The basilisk can force the creature to make a DC 12 constitution. Well, if you blind it, it can't see you. So
Exactly. That's why I would sort of think it would work.
yeah. Okay, we'll make a stealth check each to get close enough to it.
While I'm doing this, can I look down? So I can see that I'm not gonna hit it, but I don't want to.
You're not looking at it. Yeah?
Okay, just in case I fail. Oh no.
Oh my god, what are Styx's rolls? My god. What
So,
are the rolls of goddamn Styx?
Communicates this plan with like whispers and gestures and stuff, and Neo like readies himself as he's not been asked to stab it in the eye just yet. You know, he's just like got his glaive out, he's ready, like and he's also like doing the same thing Arwen is, like looking at the like away from it, but like and Arwen, so this thing is like in front of you, like side on, so Arwen probably takes the close eye and Styx has to go around it to get the eye on the other side, and it's as he's going around he doesn't quite see like his attention is just not focused on his feet, and he kicks a loose barrel ring that just skitters across the floor and just like clangs noisily, and this thing just lets out an ear-splitting roar.
My bad.
Baby.
At that point, we're gonna roll some initiative.
My bad.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not very
No. Oh, that's not good.
good.
Okay, so we've got them. Basilisk is going first. Then
That's
Arwen, then Stick.
fan goddamn tastic.
In true Neo fashion, he's going last.
Oh dear.
Okay.
It's fine. We'll be fine.
Is the creature started? Okay. So none of you are looking at it at the moment. I will say all of you are within range. So 1, 2, Arwen, 3, 4, Sticks, 5, 6, Neo. That's a 3. So it's going for Sticks. Does a 12 hit?
12, I believe, doesn't hit. No.
Okay, it's a little bit slow getting to its feet. And having kicked this ring, maybe you've already started stepping away. You guys, I will say, are about 30 feet from the door. So you can attempt to run for it and get outside on the... Because I didn't actually map out the underground. If anyone wanted to fight it outside. But yeah, these two all sort of snap at you, but you're sort of already moving, having realised that you've woken it up and you can step away without being bitten. Arwen, your turn.
Before I run outside,
Okay.
I'm going to try and stab it in the eye.
Okay, that's disadvantage because you're not looking at it.
I stab it in the nose.
I will say because it's now open combat, you won't be able to target the eye specifically. Especially as you're not looking at the creature.
Unless I get crit.
Given your crit rate, I'm gonna say... I want to say no, but also I want to say yeah, so...
No, you want to say yeah.
If it's a crit with a melee weapon, I'll allow for it to be stabbed in the eye.
Wait, which one's is...
Daggers are melee, bow is ranged.
Okay, cool. So the hand and the half. Dagger.
Well, any of the daggers is melee. Daggers are melee,
Okay.
melee is stabby,
Oh.
ranged is stabbing from far away.
I'm going to put a mark on it.
Okay, cast Hunter's Mark, yeah.
Kapow. Well, that sucked.
8, that doesn't hit.
Do it again. Damn it.
15, that does hit, the 15 hits.
Okay, that's nice. That one,
Oh my god, where's my mouse going?
and then that one, and that one. Ooh.
My word, that's scrolling the wrong thing. So one-handed or two?
One.
I'll say one, okay. 18 damage. Okay. Is that everything? Are you gonna...
I run. Bye-bye.
Okay, so you run, and with your movement, you're able to get back up the steps and appear on the outside into the sunlight. I'm just going to put you here for now. Okay, so Arwen is now outside. Sticks, what would you like to do?
I'm not looking at it, am I? So I'm going to.
To look at it. So
but I think that would be a bad plan.
That is entirely up to you.
What is my surroundings made of?
The walls are stone. The floor and the ceiling are also stone. There is debris from broken barrels and things like that on the floor.
Can I? No.
And you're about
What to do? I'm going to. There are so many things I could do. Most of them bad. Okay, can I attempt to whack it with my sword?
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it, so I'm assuming that's disadvantage.
That hits.
Oh boy, divine strike, motherfucker. Yeah, it says it was two-handed because I don't have my shield up. And divine strike, divine smite even. So that is 18 damage.
Another 18.
Get fucked, idiot! Oh, and I'm now running very far away.
Okay. It will get an attack of opportunity on you as you leave its threatened range, but you sort of... It's almost like this cool, like, backslash. You turn and pivot to leave, and as you turn, you like lash out to your side, not looking, and you feel the blade like bite in. And as you feel it bite in, you channel this divine energy down your sword, and there's this sort of hiss as you feel the balladry sort of rear away from the strike. This sort of yowling sort of as it takes the sword strike, and you start to run. And as you start to run, this claw comes down, trying to swipe at your back.
Lush.
Would it technically get advantage because you're not looking at it?
No, because you're.
Yeah, but it's kind of perceived like you're running away, but like moving away.
I guess yes, because I'm not looking at it.
So you're not really.
Therefore, I'm not able to defend myself from it. Because obviously, AC is your armor, but it's also how well you're able to sort of defend yourself and place your armor in a way as to not get hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd if it were me, I would roll it with advantage, but obviously it's up to you.
Yeah, I think I will go with that.
Because also, if you're blinded, any attacks against you get advantage, and attacks you make are with disadvantage.
Oh, that's not. Oh no.
It's crit me, hasn't it?
So the first one is an 18. The advantage means it's a 20. So
that's fine. That's fine, JJ.
5 overall.
Bring it.
Ouch.
God damn, bring it, son.
Okay. Well, firstly, that's 4d6. 2d6 piercing and 2d6 poison. Plus 3, so that's 27.
I'm down.
You're down already? Do you have less than 27 hit points, Ben? I swear Sticks must have more than that. Ben has also left the chat.
It's really squishy.
Ben is really squishy for a paladin. That's Neo's sheet. Where's Sticks' sheet? Oh, he's got 25 max hit points. We do appear to have lost Ben.
No, he's just muted.
Oh, he's just muted. Okay. Well, I suppose I need to find out if it kills him.
Oh, dear God.
Outright. Oh, those are some bad rolls, Ben. 12. 18.
He's saying words, but we can't hear him.
Didn't get that, Ben. You were just muted.
I pressed the wrong one. I am back, and I am down.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I have 25 HP.
You are a squishy paladin.
I really am, because in the last thing I rolled a 1 for my hit dice,
That really
and I have a 1 constant. So last upgrade. No, I think I rolled a 2, so I gained 3 HP overall from 1d10. Yeah. So lucky me.
So it heals. Maths. Because we do things slightly differently, so we do max damage plus the damage dice again. It deals 45 damage.
Oh my fucking god!
Did you get killed twice? No, not quite.
Not quite. If you get killed twice, you die, and you don't get death saving throws.
How much damage did it deal again? 45.
45.
That was 5 HP from killing me outright.
So this thing rears back as you strike it.
Fucking hell!
And I think you probably place your foot or something like that on a piece of loose debris, and your leg just goes from under you, and it comes down with these colossal claws just straight onto Styx' back, and slams him into the floor. Claws like digging through his armor, like poison, the natural poison coats them, like seeping into his body.
Don't
Well,
and say bring it on next time.
you know what? I asked for it. I did. I really goddamn did.
Luckily Neo is next.
Yeah.
And he's still inside. I have no idea what's going on.
Hold on. So it's 4d6 plus strength, right?
It's yes.
So that's
46 is 24 plus strength makes it 27, and then it
27,
rolled, and then it rolled 18.
and then it rolled 18.
It rolled 4,
which
4,
is
4, 6.
That's actually a very average roll when you look at the averages of the dice.
Well, all of those are above average for those dice.
Oh yeah. I guess the average sort of is 3, 3.5, but technically 3. Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. That could have been deadly. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Styx will live to see another day. And if not, I already have another character idea in mind, so I'm cool.
Okay, so
Jesus.
Neo seeing this, and this creature's it doesn't like stay on top of you. It like sort of rears and like slams down on you, and then like steps back for the like I've got that one. Get the rest, and like turns towards Neo, and Neo like moves like 5 feet over and starts trying to drag sticks away, so he can get half movement. He can get like 15 feet towards the tunnel. Will provoke the attack of opportunity, but before he does that, he will just dump his lay on hands into you, Sticks. 20 HP back.
Fuck yeah! I'm back, bitch!
So he's like, oh shit! And like puts like 2 hands just like on your shoulders and just starts like dragging you across the floor, at the same time like muttering these words, and his hands sort of glow a little bit. And feel life.
I like to think that I get absolutely wiped out, but then within a second, he puts his hand on my back. I'm like, I'm back, bitches! Bring it on!
That is nice. Okay, so that is. What, 8, 10, 13, 16 damage to Neo. Oh, this thing slaps. I didn't realise how hard it hit. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, 4d6, man. That was a decent chunk.
Basilisk's turn.
Can I get Dexter out while I'm out?
It's what I'm gonna say is Neo, after reviving Sticks, is like, get out of here, and turns to face the basilisk.
Oh god. He's gonna sacrifice himself.
So it doesn't have advantage on this attack to hit him. That's what
Oh, Neo's gonna get turned to stone.
it still hits him.
Neo's gonna get turned to stone.
Thought it was a 20.
No, it still hits him because it's got half the hit. And that is 4, 8, 9, 11, 12. Cool. Neo's on 2 HP. Neo just like, again, he's like, there's so many claws just coming at him. Like he tries to block, but they just land these blows, like scratching across his armor, and he gets like pushed back. Arwen, your turn.
I'm gonna look up at the sun and be like, where are they? Because, you know, it's like
I mean, you're
time.
you're like just at the top of these stairs, so.
Where are the stairs, by the way?
They're like on the corner of this building, so it's like you can just.
Could I have like come out and just stood there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Can I ready an action for when it comes out? I want to stay.
Okay.
Nice.
It's alright. Sticks.
Wait, so is Neo looking at the thing right now?
Yes.
Immediately
He's, like,
pulling my shield.
Got like a defensive stance over you. Like.
Okay, I'm gonna get up.
So that's,
I'm going
that's
to pull out my shield and immediately use it to cover Neo's face.
Okay.
Just saying, I'm not going through all of this effort to get your memories back for you to turn to goddamn stone. Okay. And is there any way I can sort of drag us back? Like,
you can carry a willing creature half your speed. So I guess you can like carry Neo 15 feet and then adopt a position not looking at it, covering his eyes.
and then can I use my dash to get further?
Yeah, so you can go another 15 feet.
Because I mean, the thing I've learned today is just tank the attack of opportunity. It's fine.
Yeah, because that worked so well for me the other day, didn't it, then?
Oh yeah, it did.
Okay, so
That was that was basically, Abby. I nearly killed. I knocked down
Abby is
JJ.
aware. She was. She
Oh,
was
okay.
watching. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
that
two of
was
you
it. Was
emerge
insane.
and are just very much at the bottom of these steps, having gone 30 feet to get up them.
Fuck you, Mr. Man.
As they emerge, you can see Styx looks mildly pancaked.
I feel fine.
His armor is sort of dented and has these big claw holes in the back. Neo looks like death warmed up. Oh, I forgot Neo's got fucking hellish rebuke. Oh well, I forget things, so they don't happen. It's Neo's memory. He forgets he's got abilities. I even said to myself, don't forget you've got that, and then I did. So that's fun. Yes, so the three of you are just sort of now aligned over this hole, Styx covering Neo's eyes with his shield. Neo, like, ready to, like, fight it. Yeah, and then it's like, it's Neo's turn, if that's everything, Styx.
Yes. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty much everything.
He's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself. Oh, that's an 8. Neo gets 11 hit points back.
Hey, look at that.
He's now less fucked. But yeah, and he's gonna use his movement to get on the like other side of the breach, as it were. Actually, no, not. He's been nearly pancaked. He's gonna just 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's just gonna go away. Just like back off, like after being like dragged out by Styx. It's like, okay, it's like, I'm out of here. I'll get it with. Oh no, he hasn't got any range. He wouldn't do that. He hasn't got any range. So yeah, he's just gonna go over the other side and get ready to get it from the butt. And we go back to the basilisk. It is still inside. It has a movement speed of 20 feet, so it gets close. You just hear this massive, like, stomping, heavy weight coming up close. And as many of you are looking down, you do not see it getting any closer, I assume. Actually, you're kind of its prey. It thought it had you, you'll get away. It's going to dash and get out. It's able to get out 10 feet, so it's now here.
Oh, fuck you, Mr. Beast.
You're not technically in melee range, stood there.
I thought the door was here. You told me the door was there.
Did I say it was there?
I got confused.
Okay, I will allow you to. I will say the basilisk is coming out there then, and you can stab it there, because I haven't, like, obviously the map doesn't have like stairs in it, so I'm trying to like keep it all in my head. So yes, I will give you that.
I will probably miss anyway. So.
If you're not looking at it, it's disadvantage again.
Yeah, I'm still on.
17, that does hit.
Look at that. 2.
Two-handed.
Oh, 2's worse.
That's 6 damage, isn't it? You said it now. I double check if you get those, because I'm not. You probably get the Hunter's Mark, but I'm not sure about the Colossus Slayer. It might be on your. I think that's once per turn. I think the Colossus Slayer says once per turn. I think it's technically not your turn. I don't think you would get that.
No, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature takes an extra 1d8 damage.
You can deal this extra damage only once per turn. So seeing as it's not your
turn. Is
turn.
it not a turn? Okay.
It's your reaction.
Sorry.
So I would say it's not your turn, so therefore you. I think you still get the hunter's mark though.
Yeah, I
So-
should do.
Because I believe that's whenever you hit, so that's 12. Which makes that 14 overall, because you both hit for 18 the first time. Yeah, so this thing looks rough now. It's limping quite heavily with these cuts, and it's sort of holding 2 of its legs off the ground and sort of walking with the other 6. But it's sort of, it's doing a little sort of a hopping gait. And actually, as it comes out, it sort of maybe thinks twice and looks like it might want to head back in. But yeah, it's now Arwen's turn.
Can I use that D8 if I hit?
No,
Oh, what?
because I'm me and you've nearly killed it. 18, that still hits with disadvantage.
2 again.
2 again. Yeah, so even while not looking at it, Arwen rises up and buries the point of his dagger. What are you going for? You going for straight on the head?
Oh yeah.
It's it's 2 hands straight down, buries this dagger sort of between the eyes. And you it sort of it takes it for a moment, and then its sort of 6 remaining legs just sort of collapse. And as you glance down at it, you just sort of see the glowing light from its eyes just fade. And it's there's this high pitched almost like the whining of an injured dog as this dagger strikes home. It's ear splitting as it goes across. The sound goes across the fields.
I think it's dead.
It is
I
indeed.
too think it's dead. I think we've all learned a lesson today.
What are you
Uh,
talking about? What's wrong with you?
Oh,
It's
no
slightly killed
reason.
Stick.
No,
It
no.
sounds on him.
I am and always will be fine.
Right. Is that why you have holes all over?
They were always there. I'm a paladin. I'm a holy guy.
Oh
It's the opposite of
You-
inspiration.
you tell you what, he liked that joke, and I'm just gonna point down to the dead basilisk. He liked it.
Oh.
Can we sell this?
Can you sell sticks? No.
Actually, yeah. Can we sell this?
No, slavery is bad.
So, okay, see, slavery is bad, but if you look in the monster manual, right? So every humanoid in D&D at some point or other was a slaver. Every single goddamn one. Everything in the Underdark, everything in the Feywild, everything in the Shadowfell, goddamn slavers. Everywhere. Obviously, that might not be in this setting, but in the official D&D ones, so many slavers, man. Much slave. Very Anyway, yeah, I actually think. Okay, so I reckon. Oh, decisions on whether I'm a good paladin of nature or not. I think if we could take some of its teeth, maybe some of its scales.
What about his
I reckon that
eyes?
would. I reckon that might sell. See, I was going to say eyes, but I feel like that's probably a little bit gruesome. To that's really desecrating a body.
Yeah, but,
That's real bad. Okay, if you want to do it, you do it. But I'm gonna leave it with some dignity and just take a couple of scales from its like hide or flank or something. Just like a couple, enough to fill up like a really small pouch, so that I might be able to sell them in some kind of market or something. I'm sure there's some wizard that needs them, or some antique dude who might like them.
If it's dead and it looks at me, do I get turned to stone?
No.
Let's find out. And Styx grabs it by the head and stares into its eyes.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
I can confirm it is not dead. However, if I had minor illusion right now, oh my god, the fun I would have. But no, yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna add basilisk scales to my thing.
Make a. It's got to be either nature or animal handling to harvest this without.
Or sleight of hand?
Yeah, you can argue sleight of hand to like harness these things without just like wrecking them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. So I'm going to pull out a crossbow bolt, and with the sort of tip of the crossbow bolt, try and sort of like
Prize them.
Prize them off, rather than with my big old longsword.
Well,
because I feel like that might go bad.
The basilisk isn't so much scaly the way like a dragon or a snake might be scaly, where you can pick off individual.
Oh,
scales.
more like a lizard.
It's more like a lizard
kind of thing.
So it's like a skin.
Even still, I feel like a finer point might
got,
be
like,
good.
The spines down its back. But yeah.
I feel like a finer point might be good for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So sleight of hand.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that is fine. You are able to harvest pieces. You are
Eyeballs.
also. You're going for the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Styx, what are you trying to get? Are you just trying to get
I'm
sort of like...
yeah, I'm trying to get a couple of patches of its sort of scales, enough for some kind of some merchant or something to use. I'm sure there's a lot of weird people out in the world. I'm sure someone in a local market or something might want some scales of something. So maybe we can stop by the market on the way back and see if there's a use for these.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can harvest your chosen pieces. Is there anything else you would like to do while you are here? There's still one cottage left. Well, both cottages are, the insides are uninvestigated, but the cellar of one of them you've investigated.
So we've investigated the cellar.
Hold on. That one.
Yeah, so the one with the cellar in it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, you head inside and there, you have to sort of make your way quite carefully around this sort of slight hole in the floor where it's like caved through down into the cellar. It seems like this basilisk, for whatever reason it was there, got hooked on the wine, as it were, and got a taste for it, and that's what sort of kept it around, and it kept coming back to drink the wine. So you don't know why it was there, if there was a reason or if it was just bad luck. Anyway, so inside this cottage, it seems like the sort of living quarters for some of the adults. You find a few rooms with like beds and things in that, with like nuns' habits and monks' robes and things like that. A smaller kitchen, stuff like that, for them to have some space away from these children. You know, they've got some more like personal effects and things like that. There's sort of various books. You find sort of there's notes over to some desks which seem like more like a lesson plans and things like that. There's various books on winemaking, different farming techniques, stuff like that. There's also more a range of books that you'd expect for any sort of education, from easy to teach people to read, simple mathematics, stuff like that.
Okay. No. Alright, final cottage. Let's go.
So this
before we do that though, can I real quick just lay on hands myself 5 to put me up to max HP?
Yeah.
Oh, I am a weak as shit paladin.
Yep. So you can do that. And in this final cottage, again, not locked. You're able to let yourself in, and similar to all the other buildings, it's it's quite dusty. As things have settled over time, it's sort of a musty air to the place, as nothing has moved for a long time. But this one is slightly different. There's less personal effects. There's still a bedroom and things like that, but there seems like there's less of it. It's less of a communal space. Maybe there's 1 or 2 more senior staff live here full time, and you do encounter for the first time a locked door.
Is it an office? Or I hope it is.
I don't have. Can I kick it down?
I'm gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm whacking it. What do I need to roll?
What are you gonna hit it with? Are you just gonna try and boot it with your foot?
Is there a visible lock on it?
Yeah,
like a lock separate from the door, or is the lock sort of a lock handle?
It's like a front door, so there's a handle, and below that is a keyhole.
Okay, I'm gonna kick at the hinges.
You're gonna kick at the hinges?
Yes, because you should always hit the hinges when kicking open a door. Never hit the actual door. I've heard it said.
I'm not understanding the logic behind that.
No, sorry. No, never mind. I'm gonna kick I'm gonna kick at the door handle where I'm assuming the lock is.
Yeah.
Just straight up kick, whack.
Okay. So make a straight up strength check for me.
Straight up strength check. 14.
Yeah, it's not a heavy door. It's not designed to be dead bolted and keep people out. It's mainly just to keep the children out of where they're not supposed to be, and things like that. And so you just kick it, and it's not immediate. It doesn't immediately smack open, but you kick it once and you feel it give. And so then you can just rear back and give it another boot, and this time it breaks in, and there's a little splintering from around the door frame as the lock rips out and the door swings in.
Easy.
Yeah. And inside there are what seems to be an office. There is a desk, and sort of several cabinets and things like that.
I will look through the desk.
Okay, roll an investigation check. 16. Okay, you find several. There's a bookcase with many like leather-bound, several leather-bound books on it, and each one has a date on it, and in ascending order, and so they have a year date on it. Flicking through those, you are able to ascertain that they are inventory ledgers, stock ledgers, transaction records, stuff like that. Basically, how big the harvest was, how much wine they made, how many barrels they had to buy and bottles they had to buy in, how much they sold to who for what, who delivered it, that sort of, all that sort of boring humana. You also find there is in one of the drawers there is another ledger. This one's slightly different. This one is a profits ledger starting from the front, and it is a bank records, basically like a bank account record starting from the back. And so there's a lot of loose pages in where it seems like they've been sent bank statements and things like that. And so they've got records of what the account balance is basically and stuff like that.
Please say they're not in debt.
No, you
Hallelujah.
make an intelligence check to see how much you understand, if you wish. Just straight up intelligence.
I know nothing about finance.
They making money, it's good.
Cool.
The number is a plus, not a minus.
Good.
That's about all you get. But yeah, so they're making money, and so they are in profit. You do also find in the same drawer, you find a bag of about 150 silver. It seems like, no, 150 silver? That's not a lot. Gold is probably what I'm searching for.
Yeah.
In terms of words. Like 150 gold. It seems like maybe this was their next deposit or something like that they were going to make at some point.
Nice.
I suggest we take this book and the money to Helga, that's the one.
Right.
And we say there's a load of people who are stones.
Agreed.
If we give you this, will you turn them back? And then they'll hopefully pay you afterwards. But this is like how much they have.
Yeah, agreed. Sounds good. Yeah.
And then
Let's go.
need to deal with any. And maybe we'll take like 1 gold. Or 5. As compensation.
Yeah. Either way. Let's
Let's find the wizard.
So we've now investigated all the rooms, yes?
Yes, you've investigated all the buildings. You've found
All the buildings.
and slain the basilisk.
Cool. Then yeah, I think it's probably just safe to head on home. Back to Denderport. And wait, where are we?
We have to
Is
find
the wizard still with us? Yeah, is he still with us? Oh, okay. He's asleep.
Archibald.
Well, he's we left him. Bloody OP.
Did he say he was going to sleep? He might have.
He
Let's
did
just.
go to sleep at one point.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's just go back there and
He's not
get
there.
him.
Oh,
He isn't there now.
You head back to the field where you left your sleeping wizard, and there is no sleeping wizard.
Oh, he's so... I hate him.
Bastard.
There is a wizard's hat.
Is there a circle on the floor?
No.
He's been kidnapped. He's been wizard-napped.
He may have been wizard-napped, yes.
A wizard like that, with a beard like that, wouldn't leave his hat. Unless he was kidnapped.
What would you like to do?
Has he left any tracks?
You can investigate.
Yeah.
My favourite thing to
Might
do
just
is
have to be...
Zero modifier is asking to investigate stuff.
Oops.
Oh, Neo rolled a 4. There are some tracks. At 14, you're enough of a naturey woods person to spot some wizards, some footsteps, heading away at quite a pace. And now you look out for them. You can actually track this set towards the vineyard and the buildings, and then watch it come back again the other. So it seems so you can track these steps in towards the buildings and see where they turn around and start moving away, and you can see the change in pace as he starts running away. It seems.
Was he being chased by something then?
Oh god, there's another one. No, wait, is there any other tracks?
No, there's only you only see the footsteps of
Maybe
the
he
wizard.
just saw what we were doing and was like, oh no.
Maybe? Oh, I'm very, very concerned. Let's
Just
follow them. Let's follow them. I'm getting my shield out now, by the way.
Okay.
I'm learning my lesson slowly.
Yeah. So you are able to follow the tracks, and eventually they lead. It takes you a bit of time. They're not incredibly easy to see, so you're having to sort of go quite slowly, work together using your combined sort of tracking skills, and be like, yeah, I think it went, and yeah, that way, yeah, next one's there, and so you're moving very, very slowly, and so as the sun starts to dip down, you eventually follow the tracks to the base of a large oak tree, where they stop and disappear.
Is there a circle there?
No?
Is he up the tree? He's up the tree, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's up the tree. I'm gonna tap on the tree with my sword and be like, "Hey, buddy. Hey.
There is
You there, Archibald?"
There is this rustling from up above, and quite impressively high it seems. This, like, amongst the foliage, this like head sort of peers out over a branch. This long silver beard, like, trailing down. Did anyone pick up his hat, by the way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm wearing it.
Hello again. You have my hat. Thank you.
Your hat? Are you sure it's not mine? I came with
Yes, it's my hat. It fell off when I bravely ran away.
That doesn't sound. Why did you run away?
There was a terrifying monster,
Where?
and one of you was covered in blood.
Oh,
Lovely.
that terrifying monster. Yeah, no, it's fine. We've sorted it now. We defeated the monster.
Oh, that's
We defeated the
excellent
monster.
news.
We're all good here.
What was it?
It was a basilisk.
Basilisk.
So very, very luckily, no one was. Well, I was hurt badly, but I'm fine now.
That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Why would there be a basilisk in these parts?
I have no idea.
Did
Does
you
seem
ever
rather
look
strange.
around?
We did. It seems like this place, this place was like a, some sort of like winery, and the place was making. It seems like it was making money.
Yes,
Maybe
the vineyard
could
is
it?
very profitable. That's how they pay to look after all the children in the orphanage.
Was it some kind of attack to get their money? So they send in the basilisk, and then they'll come in later for the gold.
It is possible to train a basilisk, I've heard.
Oh no.
Is it? That seems like a skill that we should probably know.
Yes,
How
it's
would
very
you-
dangerous, but
how would you
apparently
know
it
that?
can be done.
How would? Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard. I wouldn't try it myself. Far too dangerous for me.
I'm very skeptical of this wizard. This is definitely my hat now.
You're skeptical of everyone, I swear.
Yeah.
Arwen
but
trusts
Anyone we've
me.
ever met is just like, I'm very skeptical of this one. You gotta have a bit of faith, Arwen, because you gotta have faith.
See,
I gotta have
I'm the
faith.
only one who
It's a song I made up.
survived. Well, do you want to come down from the tree?
Yeah, do you want to come down from the tree and we'll return? We have,
Yes, that would be nice. However, I do appear to be stuck.
Alright, Arwen, off you pop.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, get him down.
What?
You're
Push
the-
him?
If you
I'm-
can get me down,
you're
that would be
the-
much
you're the-
appreciated.
You're the
I'm gonna
climby
push
dexterous
you
one. No, this seems
Please,
like
no
a...
pushing. That sounds terrible.
I'm definitely pushing this wizard.
I'm sorry, but pushing him out of a tree doesn't sound very friendly.
And then you two can catch him.
Neo's like,
This-
that's not a good idea.
This does
Gestures to
not
all the
sound...
blood on him.
If Neo
This
thinks it's a
does
bad
not
idea,
sound...
I'm gonna do it.
Oh no.
No, hold the phone here
So stop trying
now.
to climb the tree. Maybe some sort of rope or something would be a good idea. This
Yeah,
pushing
Arwen-
plan sounds
Arwen,
terrible
take-
for my health.
Take this rope, right? I'm gonna throw my one end of my 50 feet of rope
Yes.
and tie it around him, and then throw it around a branch,
Oh,
and then I will sort of throw the rope, what's left over of the rope around a branch, and then we'll use it as an anchor point, and me and Neo will pull him down.
Okay.
Well, there are more comfortable ways to travel, but at least it beats falling.
Look, you're the one who climbed up here.
Well,
If you
that
couldn't
was
climb down, you
terrifying.
shouldn't have climbed up.
That's very wise, but
That is a
I am.
good point.
I was very scared. And I ran out of chalk to draw in the tree. Also, there wasn't a big flat surface, so I couldn't teleport.
He was gonna leave us.
Yes, I keep my chalk inside my hat.
I'm pushing him.
No, you're not pushing him.
So one of you is going to have to climb the tree to get the rope or the pushing done.
I mean, I do volunteer to go up the tree. Um,
Okay, you can go up the tree, but if you push him down, I'm leaving you up there.
I can climb back down.
Can you?
Yeah?
Yeah, you probably can.
Technically climbing. Sort of.
It's not, though, is it?
No,
It's-
probably
it's-
not,
it's-
but he seems mean and I would laugh if he fell.
You were going to leave us.
Yes, I was. I thought you were all going to die. Look, I'm a wizard. I'm not a warrior.
Someone else needs to climb this tree because I will push him down.
Oh, thank
Uh,
God. Which one of you handsome lads will save me?
Oh no, I'm getting up there.
Fine. Oh, Lord.
Sorry, please help me. Please don't leave me up here. I'm very old and frail.
I will climb the tree with the rope. And I will tie it round him.
Okay. Well, make a dex acrobatics check to climb the tree.
Acrobatics.
Yes, you can
I can climb.
easily climb the tree
Oh, she has climbed every tree from here to Timbuktu.
and tie a rope around your old Archibald and climb back down again, if that is what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave him there.
Well, no, you tie the rope around him over the branch.
Oh, did I tie it over the branch?
I'm asking you what you're doing. This is
No, I
when you...
tied the wizard. I tied it down. I tied the wizard.
You tied the wizard.
Yep.
Okay, and then the branch, he can just position himself so it's over a
Yeah,
branch.
you can.
Okay. Styx, make a strength check with advantage to not drop the wizard when he starts.
Drop.
22, yeah, that's fine. You are able to, between you and Neo, like just gently lower him down, and there's sort of lots of wheezing and groaning as this rope is tied like under his arms, around his ribs. He's just trying not to complain because you very kindly helped him out of the tree. Thank you for that. I would have been stuck up there for days again. Don't ask, it's a long story involving some squirrels.
Oh god.
Did you... The fuck did you just say?
I had an encounter. Never mind, there were squirrels and my feet have never been the same.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Run.
I have just enough strength to teleport us back one more time. I just need my hat, please.
No, I'm having.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I have now used my action, every action to dash
Oh, no,
away from the tree.
Oh, he'll come back. He's
I am not.
It's a bad penny.
I would like it known that this time I am not coming back. I am hiding behind this tree and waiting for them to come to me.
Fine. Come on. Let's go.
I need my hat, please.
No.
I cannot do the spell without my
You
hat.
can.
No, it's not possible.
Lies. I do not like the lying wizard.
I don't care what you like, I need my hat. It's very important for making me look like a wizard, otherwise I look like a poor old man. And I don't get nearly the respect I deserve. Please, can I have my hat back?
No.
Give him his hat back.
You can have the hat back when we get back.
No, he needs it back now to do the teleport because we are in the middle of nowhere.
Fine.
Thank you, kind lady. You are a very brave woman and a hero, I'm sure.
You're sure?
Yeah.
You should be certain.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
Whatever you say! On with the drawing. And he takes chalk out of his pocket with the hat on his head and starts drawing on the ground.
He's an old man and he's frail
Mm.
and he can't get up quick. That's my hat now.
It doesn't come off his head.
I'm gonna kick him when we get there.
No, it does. It does come off his head. Hey, that's my hat!
Draw your circle, old man.
Give me back my hat! Or you'll regret it.
Boys.
Bear in mind, he could like fireball us or some shit. Give it.
I put it back on his head.
I do not want to fight a wizard today. Not when the average damage of a fireball would kill me.
Not from Max.
Yeah,
Okay.
from Max.
What's fireball? 8d6.
Yeah.
So d6 is 3, so 28. No, yeah, you're right. The average damage is
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
would down me from Max.
Yeah. Thank you. I like your friend less and less. Anyway, puts one hand gripping his hat like on his head and carries on drawing the circle. Where are we going again? Oh yes. Draws the circle. Everyone hugging close except you. You get on the other side.
Oh, don't worry.
Still holding his hat onto his head. Seems very attached to his hat.
He really does.
Attached to my hands soon.
And he will cast teleportation circle again to and you all appear once again back in the courtyard in Denderport. After going through this, once again, this sort of stomach-lurching feeling where you feel like you've dropped into the ground and then suddenly travelled a very long distance and to spring up again.
Whew.
You look tired.
And we're back.
Maybe you need a nap.
Yes, it is very hard work.
Where do you need to sleep?
I will be alright for now. I don't like the look of your itchy fingers.
Itchy.
What?
Sort of puts both hands on his hat and sort of, I'm going to find Gemma. And sort of walks away clutching his hands.
Don't like him. Anyway, let's go to Helga.
Indeed.
I'm gonna get that hat one day.
Okay. Okay. Do you just leave?
Yeah.
Head straight to Helga then?
And then we'll come back to Gemma later.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just making sure. So yeah, you're able to walk through the city. It's starting to get dark. Well, it's not getting dark. It's that point of the evening when the sun is setting and the light is fading. And the shadows are lengthening. Sun's going real low. And you enter the temple out on the seafront. It faces east, so it's very dark inside with the sun on the other side of the city. Or setting on the other side of the city. Let me put you back on the map so you can see. And this again, this very tall, beautiful orc figure in these flowing robes, sort of halfway between robes and a dress, sort of low cut with a long slit up the side. Approaches you and says, it is good to see you again. Have you made a decision? Are you looking to travel? As promised, I will find you passage on a boat when you wish. If that time is now, then you may not be able to set sail with the evening tide, but I can probably do something tomorrow.
Can we ask, not a favour, just a thing? Do you have lots of people? There's lots of people who do the magic-y stuff, like, in this place.
Uh, yes, there are a few of us who are blessed. Are blessed with the powers of magic. Our gods have seen fit to grant us this small boon.
You know the healing thing you tried with Neo?
Yes, the restoration.
Is there lots of people or a group of people that can do it here?
No, I would estimate less than 5 maybe in the city. I myself and Vam, and there is another priestess here who has similar, not quite as extensive, has similar powers. But no, it is a rare skill.
Who is the other person?
Well, if you have any problems, I will be happy to help you myself. The temple is open 24 hours, but we don't get so much traffic at night. I am the only one on hand at the moment, and there's only one other orc priestess here who has that. The others are from the different faiths scattered throughout the city.
I see we have a problem in another town somewhere.
Yeah, is Archibald still with us?
No, Archibald went to speak to Gemma.
Okay.
Just that we don't know where we were.
Yeah, we really should have bloody asked. Okay,
I mean, we
so
could tell her
basically,
about it, and then
yeah.
if
So
she can't do
okay,
it-
so basically, there was a town, there was a place, a winery, and we went there, and it seemed like a basilisk had
Looking
turned a
through
lot of
everything,
people
you guys would
to.
have found enough stuff with the name of the winery on. A name that was definitely a good and interesting name that I did come up with. I did.
Yes,
So you
that
can
name.
Tell her, the name of the winery.
The good and interesting winery.
The
Good and
winery.
interesting winery. Yes. Yes, indeed. But yeah, basically there was a basilisk at this winery. We were just there. We killed the basilisk, but unfortunately, before we got there, it seemed to turn a bunch of people to stone. Could you help us unturn them? Yes, we did.
Impressive. They are fearsome. They are not native to the shattered shore where I am from. They are more. I believe they come from more mountainous regions, caves and mountains and what have you. I would be able to help. I know this winery. It is not close.
We have a wizard friend who might be able to teleport us
Okay.
there and back.
Roughly, how many in number are we talking about?
There was like 10 of them.
Yeah, the thing I forgot to mention, because I constantly get distracted, is that the buildings themselves would have had a larger number of statues and things concentrated in them.
Oh, then a lot of people.
So
It was a
maybe not
lot of
in
people.
them, but like around them. So you're probably thinking 30 plus people.
Mm. Yeah, a lot of people.
That is... Well, something like that would certainly not be quick. To perform that scale of magic would take weeks of work. just in recovery time, it would not be to cast over and over, and then there is the cost.
Well, I have their money. Well, not. I mean, here's how much they had, and then this is a book of how much they have. Take it out of their accounts.
That is a good idea, however, not necessarily the best thing for me to do. Simply, I cannot collect this money. It is with the bank, and I cannot make the decisions on how to spend them.
Idea. You use this bag of money to do one of the ones that look in charge, so not a child, one of the adults, and then you can ask them, would you like to use this money to help everyone, or are you selfish, and will the gods tell you you're bad?
That is a good idea. Someone with authority. I mean, you seem to place a lot of respect in me, which I appreciate, but I am just a priestess. I do not have a jurisdiction or a power to wield beyond the walls of this temple.
Well, you can't do it outside.
No, I can, but I have no authority in the city or outside. My authority extends to the door as the priestess of this temple.
Okay, but, like, he asked, so could you just do it? Please?
It can be done, yes. Again, it is... Arrangements will have to be made for someone to go, or maybe some someones within the city to go. It may not be myself. I will certainly not be in charge of this. But if it is requested of me, I will go, and I will spend the time there, provided everything is, well, provided. The spell, it takes a lot of effort, and it is expensive, as you know, because of the material cost. So it is also not just a case of having the gold. We have to then acquire the corresponding material components, which may take some time to acquire. I do not know if these things can be found within the city.
Oh, you're gonna have to go on a scavenger hunt.
We might do.
I do not think you would have to go and find these things yourself. I more think it is a matter of they just need to be bought in. It will take some time. These things obviously exist in the world. There is the value of the diamonds is there. Don't get me wrong. It's just finding it within the city, or maybe just outsourcing it direct from source. The dwarves with their minds are certainly within a position to provide this. We just have to make sure that the funds are available. So starting with a single person would be a good way to go, and then they can authorize the expenditure.
Okay, cool. Here you go. Bye.
No, you cannot leave this with me. I will not be responsible for this.
Oh, where's your manager?
I am the manager here. You will have to arrange this with the warden of the city. I cannot just go on a whim. As much as I wish to help these people, I cannot abandon here without cause.
Okay. Gemma.
Heading back to find Gemma.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Is he still complaining about his hat?
No, you head back, and Gemma is looking quite bored while Archibald talks about something or other. You get the sense that maybe it's a story he's told before, and that she's heard before, and again, and again. And there I was, and oh hello! And again touches his hat.
Hello.
What he's doing.
How's it hanging?
Good, I was just regaling Gemma with one of the many stories of my youth. Oh, how it has fled me. Never grow old, it's not worth it.
I don't. You know what? Yeah. Whatever. Fine.
Oh, I have to get up at 4 every morning to use.
Anyway.
use the
Anyway, that is enough of that.
Yes, what? That's not the right accent. Oh no, I've lost it. Oh, the German accent. What can I do for you, lassie?
Can I remember?
What can I do for you? Anything I can do at all?
Yeah. Can you tell some of the priest people to go and not make people stone anymore? Thank you.
Sort of looks over at Archibald, like, what are you talking about? What did you get up to?
He hit up a tree.
Well, of course he did. He's a big coward.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't give me his hat.
Just sort of frowns for a second and then blows right by that. Can someone fill me in?
Basically, we went and we took care of the basilisk situation. It was all well and good, easy. Nothing happened. Didn't even get hurt.
Easy, Neo behind you sort of snorts and like, and gestures to himself, still covered in blood.
Yeah, that's fine.
Basilisk.
Still on like 1/3 of his XP.
That's fine. Oh, he's still on 1/3 of his HP. Okay, can I use?
I mean, I can just.
Oh, you could.
Tell the story. I'll do the healing thing.
Basically, we went to the winery and we found a load of dead people. Not dead people, like people who need greater restoration because they are turned into stone because of a basilisk. We killed the basilisk. The end.
Sort of frowns at this. Again, it's like, a basilisk? That's not supposed to be there. What's one of them doing?
Was addicted to the wine.
It did seem to be addicted to the wine.
Yes, but even so, a basilisk being there in the first place is mighty odd.
It is, isn't it? Where do you know where basilisks are meant to be? You know, where are they commonly seen?
In caves.
Well, not really. Just mountains and what have you. And that vineyard is well known. It's not near any mountains. Well, I say not near. You can see the mountains from it, but that's only because the Drogdarum mountains are so huge. They can be seen for miles and miles and miles away. They're much bigger than any other mountain, but just because you're close, you can see them, doesn't necessarily mean you're close.
Weird. But yeah, so we need these people healed, basically.
Yes, well, I know a little bit about the nature of healing, and something like that is going to be quite difficult, I'm afraid. Do you have a plan?
Yeah, we could. I don't think we do. We went to. Oh, I've already forgotten her name. Helga, that's the one. We went to Helga, and we have just asked her, but unfortunately, she can't really. She can't be relieved of her duties. It's funny. Just yet. She's obviously a very important person in the community, and also the physical power it takes. She's just one priest. We are going to need a good few people to relieve how many people were affected by this.
It'll take several, or it'll take a while. Either or. Well, I know there's a few people who can. I know of a few people who have. If she says she can do it, who are of, I believe, similarly arcanely gifted. I will talk to her, and between us we will figure it out. These things are also expensive, though. I think from what little I know of magic, it's not free, both in physical expenditure but also material.
Do you know how much exactly?
No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with the process myself. I couldn't estimate the cost, but not cheap is about the best I can do.
Okay.
For your reference, the restoration spell cost you 100 gold when you had it up, when you requested it for Neo. I think it was 100.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, there was so many people there. That's 100 gold. That's over 1,000 gold.
But we can just start with that one person, and then the other guy can, the one that they bring back, can just deal with it, with all the finances after.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess if we use the 100 gold we have, get a diamond worth that much or whatever, and I guess we're just gonna have to start with that and
yes, I do
keep it going.
This is if that's what it's going to cost, then there's no way. Well, you can expect any private citizen or the city to finance a venture of that much. I mean, it sounds callous to say what's the price of a human life, but I'm afraid sometimes it doesn't buy more than 100 gold. And, unless you guys have got a way to come up with that, then I'm not sure how much help we can be.
What, 100 gold?
Well, there's 100 for one, isn't it? Did you not say?
Yeah, but then the guy who gets resurrected, or whatever, will deal with the money, because they have money.
They have.
In the wine case.
I guess.
Yes, if they are a profitable business, I suppose. Well, it might ruin them, but
Well,
I
at
suppose
least
they
they'll
would
be
take
alive.
that over death.
Or I could shoot arrows at all of the statues.
No. That is just killing people. I'm pretty sure that would just destroy them.
Yes, let's put that plan on the back burner for now.
Agreed.
I think your accent's wavering.
Yes, it is. The accent, the consistency of his accent is like ice cream in the sun. Yes, well, fuck.
She's Scottish.
Yes, Scottish, and so that is a good idea. Fuck. I will have a word with some of the more magically inclined members of the community, and we shall see what we can come up with. But that's an excellent idea. We shall find a likely candidate and revive them first, and they can delegate what happens next.
Yes, here is the stuff.
You just give her the gold and the ledger and stuff like that. Cool. Well, I must say this is incredible. I don't know whether you're a blessing or a curse, you three. You seem to arrive when there's trouble and clear it all up.
Well, we have been known to be somewhat mops in that scenario. Mopping up the bad shit. That was a really bad. We're not the mops.
New group name, the Mops.
We are not the mops. No.
Well, if that's everything, then I've probably got it from here.
Oh, great.
You'd be, any more help you had would be welcome, but I don't think you need it for spellcasting or administrative purposes anymore. You guys can get some well-earned rest. And she maybe looks at Styx and Neo. Yes, and I will keep my ears to the ground about that basilisk. That's a curious one. Seems sort of quite troubled and almost is sort of thinking and talking to herself at this point about it. Has sort of almost dismissed you now from her mind as she's contemplating this prospect.
No.
And then Archibald's well, it seems like you've got everything figured out. Of course I will be here around if anyone needs a wizard.
No one needs you.
I seem to recall my teleportation skills being quite handy. Anyway, hey, do you want to... I'll see you around sometime soon, Gemma. Yes, well, no need to hurry back. And she'll usher all of you out. And sort of, closes the door behind you. You hear the sound of her just sitting down at her desk again and sort of starts scratching out stuff with a quill to write orders and what have you. Well, it was nice to meet you all. I will maybe see you again sometime.
Yeah. We should all go for a drink sometime. time.
for a
Yeah.
drink?
No, not
Just
right now.
the place.
We're busy. We're busy right now.
Oh,
We're a little we're a little busy right now. But you know, sometime, you know, sometime at some point. Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys are like walking around and you get to like the steps at the front. And like, well, I'll see you around. Hey,
See ya.
Arwen, was it? Do you want to see why my hat's so magical?
This is a sex joke.
Well, you're lost then. Looks a little bit like, damn. Starts walking away.
I don't want him to turn me into something.
Oh, he wouldn't do that.
He would.
Yeah, he probably would.
He might now that you've given me the idea. No, I had something else in mind, but it's fine. Look. And he's like, ah, Sonic, look, I can do this. And takes his hat off and pulls the rabbit out. Ha ha! Away! And like he does a little like old man run.
If you run, I can take
What?
the hat, right?
What the fuck?
No, I'll leave it. This time.
Bye!
Yes, goodbye. A weird wizard man.
Alright, and with Archibald's departure...
You strange man.
With the departure of Archibald the Wizard, we shall end the session there.
That was definitely strange.
We started quite late, so I lost track of the times.
I think it's actually probably around 3 hours.
Let's hold. How long have I been streaming? It'll tell me somewhere. No, it won't. Oh yeah, 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Ah, see,
Not bad.
not bad.
Well, on that note, we will see all the many 0 viewers next week. One day we might get viewers, but either way, it's always nice to have the record so we can look back and laugh. But the strange wizard.
I won't be here next week.
That's cool.
Because I am in Bournemouth till Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And then Thursday I'm working 12 till close. And then Friday I'm working 6 till close. And then Saturday I'm working 12 till 6. But I probably want an evening off.
Yeah. That's fair. That's cool. Well, we'll pick up the story next week and eagerly await the return of Styx and see what happens with him and some squirrels.
Indeed. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
You too?
Good session, JJ.
Sure.
Thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Excellent.
And I will see, except for the fact that, you nearly killed me in one hit.
Yeah,
That-
crit rolls are rough.
They are.
Crit. They're awful when stuff crits against you.
That's the thing of them. It's like
But I mean, you guys can dish out the damage. I mean, you only hit it with 4 attacks, and you killed it. Neo didn't have to attack at all, and you guys killed it in 4 attacks between you. So you guys can slay.
that is a good point. Alright, I will see you guys later. I got a bit of work to
Much
do.
love. See you around.
Bye.